Have you ever found yourself face to face with a deadly water moccasin? Join me as I have a close encounter with this poisonous reptile. Coming up next. Mississippi has an abundance of water moccasins. I met this ugly fellow here while scouting a wildlife management area. He is a typical adult water moccasin, about 5 feet or so long and with a thick gray-black body. My adventure began one Saturday night after shooting at a raccoon and missing. My arrow went through my deer feeder. Look at the X below the arrow. This is where the story begins. The next afternoon, I went back to the deer feeder to retrieve my arrow. I tried removing it from the rear of the shaft and then walked around to the front to see if I could remove it from that direction. Take note of the snake tail that you see right here. The moccasin's head was right under the arrow shaft, and as I walked around the side of the feeder, I came face to face with the moccasin. Although they say moccasins will avoid people, I found this moccasin was headed straight toward me despite having felt and heard my footsteps approaching it. However, since the feeder's boards were between me and the moccasin, I felt a degree of safety, so I retreated back around to the front of the feeder, and this is what I saw. The moccasin had coiled and raised its head in a warning position, and then, as I stopped, it began coming toward me once again. However, the moccasin was only trying to get around the feeder because once it did, it began to slither off. Here you can see the beautiful colorings on the snake. This moccasin is about 2.5 to 3 feet long, and while not a juvenile, he's not a full-grown adult either. Realizing that a human being was not leaving him alone, this snake began to head back into the woods and seek cover. While this snake was not trying to harm me, for my safety, I stayed well behind the snake. Snakes have a role in nature, and many debate whether that role is beneficial or adverse. As a property manager who manages property for wildlife, a decision has to be made as to whether or not the snake really is beneficial. The primary goal for my land is to make the environment favorable for raising and attracting wild game animals such as deer, turkey, rabbits, wood ducks, and others. Unfortunately, water moccasins do not have a beneficial role for these game management goals. Snakes like this moccasin and others are active destroyers of the game animals that I try to raise. This includes eating turkey eggs, duck eggs, baby rabbits, and baby squirrels. With their obvious danger to humans, the fact that they destroy so many game animals I'm trying to raise means that the water moccasins are not a favored species on my land. However, no harm was done to this water moccasin. For those who would like to keep snakes, you're welcome to come get mine. The best advice in dealing with a water moccasin, however, is to leave it alone and let it take itself to a place of hiding. That's what this snake is doing. Since I left the snake alone, he simply slithered away to safety. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to rate and subscribe.